Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. I seriously hate when a new cartoon has a week of premieres. It puts a lot more of a strain on me knowing I have to watch, write, and record a brand new review every single day on top of whatever other content I've got to produce, plus my day job. And it's generally followed with a lack of a consistent schedule on the network's part, so I don't get the point of doing them. Be that as it may, I need to do this even if I'm already behind. So let's get to the second episode's A part, Bad Friday. You know, like Good Friday, except bad and with monsters doing the Monsters Incorporated thing and having a scare-off of sorts. That's the premise for this next episode of Hotel Transylvania, and I'm rather indifferent towards it, especially when it becomes a competition to scare each other, instead of going out and scaring the local townsfolk. And the scares never evolve into anything noteworthy or fun or, better yet, creepy. One scare is literally Hank tripping and frightening the slug. Another is the slime girl, and not the hentai kind, sneaking up on another character. Like I said, the scares aren't even fun. The event only gets a slight pick-me-up when Mavis's fear and confusion over the human act of cleaning a baby's diaper leaves her screaming loudly enough and fearfully enough to scare the slug, thus putting her far above her ant score and causing the other monsters to put her act to song. That's really the only noteworthy moment in the episode, as the early moments put Mavis into the annoying role of a rebelling daughter refusing to participate in Bad Friday. There's not really a good explanation for her attitude, and thus she comes off extremely bratty and unlikable, when last episode she was much more fun. So, while Bad Friday never becomes bad itself, it never seems to rise to the occasion and leaves the fun concept of monsters competing to scare each other basically unfulfilled. Mavis is bad at giving gifts, something she plans on fixing in Hoop Screams, where she digs up a pair of hands to help Hank be better at basketball. It's an odd idea, but then, again, this is an odd show. This also marks the first time thus far that the show gives more attention to one of the supporting cast members instead of Mavis, even if she is the catalyst. And that's Hank, a character I've already gone on record as saying I'm not incredibly in love with. Hoop Screams didn't really change that opinion, but it does set out to really flesh out the character beyond his more shallow appearance in episode 1. Well, I say fleshed out, but it's more like giving him some unique traits. The idea of Frankenstein-esque monsters being barely sewn together, it's not new, nor is the idea of their body parts being independent from themselves. But it's at least something to give a little spice to the character, though the writers do this by making the relationship between Hank and his hands bordering on romance. This concept can work well, like in Phineas and Ferb, where Doofenshmirtz and Perry's antagonistic relationship was sometimes portrayed like they were an old married couple in later episodes. They weren't, obviously. However, here it's just weird, and not in a good way, and I don't know if it works all that well. Mind you, it's certainly unique, but it's just a really odd inclusion. I can give props to the show's writers for putting Hank into the spotlight, but the execution left much to be desired. There weren't a lot of laughs to be had, and the actual meat of the story just wasn't worth the time. That leaves episode 2 being a pretty disappointing episode, with both its A and B parts either being lackluster or mediocre. This is definitely an episode to skip, unless you're just morbidly curious. But maybe you think differently. Share your thoughts on episode 2 down below. I'd love to hear what your favorite or least favorite moments were. You can watch Hotel Transylvania, the series, on Disney Channel. Check your local listings. While you're still here, please consider checking out my merch store or Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.